Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss with the topic Mendelian genetics. Mendelian genetics is a kind of biological inheritance that highlights the laws proposed by Gregor Mendel in 1866 and is rediscovered laws in 1900. So it is also referred as transmission genetics because the principles that describes how traits are passed from parents to offspring. This laws faced a few controversies initially, but when Mendel's series got integrated with the chromosome theory of inheritance, they soon became the heart of classical genetics. Mendel presented his findings before the National History Society of Bern at two of its meetings of February 8th and March 8th in 1865. If you see the introduction of Gregor Mendel, he is appropriately called as father of genetics. He was born in 1822 at Movoria near Bern in Austria, and he became in priest of church in 1847. After his performance as a science teacher was excellent, he worked as a priest in the local church. He lived in a house located within the premises of a church, and in 1857 he began to collect pea seeds for his experiments from commercial seed growers all over the Europe. He conducted all his experiments within the premises of the church. After 7 years of outstanding, sincere and exhausting experimentation, he presented his findings before the National History Society of Bern. His paper entitled Experiments in Plant Hybridization was presented in German language. His paper was published in the annual proceedings of the society in 1866. Gregor Mendel died in 1884 at an age of 62 years, long before the world could understand and appreciate his contribution to understand the laws of heredity. The paper was presented in a very lucid style, was based on clear-cut evidences of extensive data, but the work was much ahead of its time. Although the basic principles of genetics were formulated in 1865 itself, the new baby was kept in incubator and forgotten for the next 35 years. 16 years after his demise, three scientists worked independently arrived at the same conclusion as those of Mendel's work. Mendel's laws was rediscovered in 1900 by Hugo de Vries, Carl Correns, and Erich von Teschmar simultaneously, and the science of genetics was truly born in 1900. Next, we see going to see the selection of pea plant for experimental material. The choice of pea for hybridization by Mendel was based on a deep understanding of the problems of such studies. Pea offered the following advantages as an experimental material. In the available varieties, seven characters had two contrasting forms, which was easily distinguished from each other. This permitted an easy classification of F2 and F3 progeny from various crosses into clear-cut classes. The flower structure of pea ensures self-pollination. This was experimentally verified by Mendel. Pea flowers are relatively large, therefore the emasculation pollination of pea flower is very easy. The duration of pea crop is a single season. As a result, every year one generation of pea can be grown. Pea seeds are large and present no problem in the germination. Pea, pea plants are relatively easy to grow and each plant occupies only a small space. In addition to pea, Mendel worked on Rajma also, which is called Physalis vulgaris as well. The results from the experiments of Rajma were also reported in the same paper. Next, we are going to see the reasons for Mendel's success. The most important factor was his ability of an accurate and clear-cut analysis of the reasons for failure of earlier workers. At first, Mendel studies the inheritance of only one pair of contrasting characters at a time. Only after he had formulated the law governing in the inheritance of a single pair of contrasting characters, he tried to analyze the inheritance of two or three contrasting character pairs. Mendel selected P variety that had clearly different from one or more characters. The difference between two forms of a pair of contrasting characters was so large and clear cut that the individuals of a population could be easily and accurately classified as having one or other contrasting characters. Mendel classified all the plants of a population on the basis of contrasting characters under this study. He kept an accurate record of the number of plants or seeds in each category for every generation. Mendel carried out his experiments with great care and elaborateness. His knowledge of mathematics was a definite asset for the interpretation of his findings. Mendel was a Mendel able to formulate appropriate hypotheses on the basis of explanation he offered for his experimental findings. Further, he proceeded to test this hypothesis experimentally to prove the corrections of his explanation. But the final analysis, Mendel was undoubtedly lucky because the seven characters selected the Mendel showed qualitative inheritance. Not a single trait was inherited quantitatively. The contrasting forms of each of the seven characters was governed by a single gene. Further, in each case, one arm was completely dominant over the other. Of the 7 characters studied by the Mendel, the genes are 2 located on the one chromosome, where 3 other were presented in the another chromosome. Next, we will see the reasons for failure of Mendel procedures. In his 1865 paper, Mendel presented a brilliant analysis of the deficiencies in the experimental approaches of his procedures. They are summarized below. The scientist studied the plant as whole, that is, its total appearance consisting of a large number of characters. Therefore, the plants could not be classified into few clear-cut classes because these workers did not attempt an exhaustive classification of the different forms of the character present in the progeny. The scientists were more concerned with the description of various forms appearing in the progeny. An attempt to determine the frequencies of different characters from in progeny was not made. In many cases, the data from different generations were not kept accurately and separately. In many cases, a complete control on pollination in the F1 was lacking. In many studies, the F1 was an interspecific hybrid exhibiting partial to considerable sterility. The number of plants studied in F2 was relatively small. In addition to the most of the characters studied by earlier workers were qualitative in nature. Here we see the Mendel's laws of inheritance. Mendel proposed total total two laws, and we further added two laws. The first law, from his study in P, Mendel proceeded two basic laws of genetics, which are the laws of segregation or law of purity of gametes and law of independent assignment. These laws provide the foundation on which the sciences science of genetics has been developed. The law of segregation is universally applicable, but the law of independent assignment does not apply in linked genes. Mendel also explained the phenomenon of dominance, but the dominance is not regarded as a law of inheritance, as it was described as about genetical functions or gene expression leading to phenotypic development. Here, the 7 pair of contrasting characters where Mendel was chosen. Thus, if you see the seed form or seed shape, gray and round, white and wrinkled of two contrasting pairs. Next is see the seed cotyledon, yellow and green color are there. Flower color is distinguished with white and violet. If you see the pod form, full and constricted form. In the color it is yellow and green. If you see stem place, axial pods flower along, terminal pods flower tops. Stem size is long and short, which is long is say 6 to 7 feet and short is 3 by 4 to 1 feet. Next is law of segregation, which is Mendel's first law. It is also stated as law of purity of gametes. It states that when a pair of alleles or allomorphs is brought together in a F1 hybrid, they remain together without contaminating each other, and they separate or segregate from each other into a gamete in a complete and pure form during the formation of gametes. The law is universal in its application, and it has been found to occur in plants as well as animals. Thus, each somatic cell of an individual has two copies or alleles of a gene. The gametes are always pure for every gene since they have only one copy of each gene, either capital or small, which is dominant or recessive. Therefore, the term law of purity of gametes is sometimes used to describe the law of segregation. Here, Mendel used a monohybrid cross for this law of segregation. A monohybrid is nothing but the crossing of two varieties or strains which differ from each other for a single character. For example, Mendel crossed a P variety having round seeds with another variety possessing wrinkled seeds. Then in F1 they got the round seeds, and after in F2, which is F1 was self-food to form F2, we got four populations where three were round and one is wrinkled. In the three out of three, one is showing homozygous and next two is showing the heterozygous conditions of rounds, which means 1 is to 2 is to 1 of genotypic ratio. In a monohybrid cross, the genotypic ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1 and phenotypic ratio is 3 is to 1 is obtained in F2 generation for monohybrid cross. In the F2 generation, both the parent, that is both dominant and recessive characters, appear in a definite proportion of 3 is to 1, which is 3 dominant and 1 recessive character. Thus, Mendel Mendel observed the traits which were absent in F1 generation has reappeared in the F2 generation. He called such suppressive traits as recessive traits and expressive traits as dominant traits. These observations led to formation of law of segregation. The suppression homologous chromosomes during anaphase 1 of meiosis may be regarded as the reasons for segregation of the two alleles of a gene. This is because the alleles of a gene are located in the identical position in the two homologous chromosomes. Here some essential features are there for expansion of 3:1 ratio, which is obtained in F2. the presence of two copies of each gene in somatic cells, a random union between the male and female gametes, the production of two types of gametes with respect to the heterozygous gene by the F1 is equal frequencies. As a result, only one copy of a gene is present in the gamete. Suppression of two copies of a gene at the time of gamete formation. A lack of contamination or modification of each other by the two alleles of a gene during their stay together in the same cells of F1 hybrids. Here, some assertions are there for segregation in the 3:1 ratio explanation. Equal survival or function of the different gametes are present. Random union of male and female gametes has been takes place, and equal survival of different gametes thus produced in the F2 generation. The production of two types of gametes in the equal frequencies are in F1 generation. Some evidence are there for the law of segregation, which is for monohybrid cross. The indirect evidence is based on the frequencies of different types of zygotes produced in a test cross. The test cross is nothing but the F1 is the F1 hybrid which has crossed with the any one of the parent and resulted to form 1:1 for monohybrid cross, which means the ratio of test cross was always one dominant and one recessive. Indicates that the F1 gametes carrying dominant F1 indicates that the F1 gametes carrying dominant and recessive alleles were in equal frequencies. The purpose of test cross is to obtain the evidence that segregation of all the alleles of a single gene in the F1 hybrid produce two types of gametes in equal frequencies. Next, we're going to see the second law, which is law of independent assortment, and it states that the segregation of two or more characters in the same hybrid is independent of each other. Thus, any allele of one gene is equal likely to combine with any allele of other gene and pass into the same gamete. Independent segregation of two gametes produces four different types of gametes in equal proportion. A random union among these gametes gives rise to 16 possible zygotes. Here Mendel used the dihybrid cross for his law of independent assortment. He crossed, which means the dihybrid cross is two parents different from each other for a single character, which means seed shape. Similarly, if you see a cross between two parents different from two or more two characters is known as dihybrid cross. Here in dihybrid cross, Mendel considered two traits for each having two alleles. He crossed wrinkled seeds and wrinkled green seed and round yellow seed, and observed that all the F1 generation progeny were round yellow only. This means the dominant traits were round yellow and round shape and yellow color. Here the selfhood the F1 progeny and obtained four different zygotes: wrinkled yellow, round yellow, wrinkled green, and round green in the ratio of 9:3:3:1, which is phenotypic ratio. The typical dihybrid ratio in F2 can be further resolved into 1:2:4:1:2:1:2:1 ratio is known as genotypic ratio. The independent segregation of two genes can be explained by assuming that two genes are located in the two different chromosomes. The two alleles of a gene will be located in the two homologous of its concerned chromosome. Independent segregation of the genes two pairs of chromosomes at one phase one of the meiosis will lead to the independent segregation of these genes located in them. It may be emphasized that the alleles of a gene occupy the same position in the two homologous of a chromosome. The test cross for a dihybrid, which means the evidence, the F1 hybrid is crossed with a variety of strain having two recessive forms of the both the characters, that is double recessive, that is wrinkled green. And the ratio obtained is that 1:1:1:1 ratio in a dihybrid test cross is accepted for sufficient evidence for the independent segregation of the concerned genes. Next, we'll see the law of dominance, which states that when a parent with pure contrasting traits are close together, only one of their trait appears in the next generation. The hybrid offspring will exhibit only one of the dominant trait in the phenotype. Law of unit characters state that each factor gene controls the inheritance of single character. Therefore, these characters occurs in pairs in each diploid organism. And here we see the next is exemptions. Some exemptions are there for Mendel laws. The examples are paramutations and polyploids are the exemptions for the law of segregation or law of purity of gametes, which is first law of Mendel. And for second law of Mendel, that's law of independent assortment, linkage is an exemption. And for principle of dominance, incomplete dominance is an exemption. For a pleiotropism is an exemption for the principle of unit of characters. Some modification of F2 ratios due to incomplete dominance, codominance, lethal factors, interaction of factors, Epstein factors are all exemptions. So here we are going to end the topic Mendelian genetics. Thank you.